Okay, buckle up. Today's explainer starts right in the absolute center of a $96 billion AI boom. And then we're going to whip all the way back in time to the dusty, ancient parables of Babylon. Seriously, stick with me here because the financial lessons we're pulling out today are completely timeless. And the numbers we're looking at, honestly, they're just hard to even wrap your head around. I mean, just get a load of this 70%. Nvidia literally just dropped a 70% revenue growth forecast for fiscal 2028. You almost never see a company forecast that far out with a straight face, but CEO Jensen Huang's supply chain visibility is basically a financial crystal ball at this point. He's got the suppliers, the hyperscalers, and the shareholders all looking at the exact same hypergrowth timeline. It's wild. And to really grasp that forecast, you gotta look at their Q2 revenue, $96.2 billion. Oh, and with $2.22 in adjusted earnings per share, Wall Street was expecting around $92 billion, and Nvidia just absolutely blew the doors off those estimates. We're literally watching a scale of growth that is fundamentally reshaping the entire tech landscape right in front of our eyes. Section 1. What exactly is a GPU? And why thousands of tiny painters totally beat one smart teacher? Okay, so think of your standard CPU as a single, brilliant, but, severely overworked teacher. They can do highly complex math, but they gotta do it one problem at a time. Now, NVIDIA's GPU, that is like an army of thousands of highly caffeinated, super speedy, tiny painters. If you need to render 1,000,000 shimmering dragon scales for a video game instantly, well, the smart teacher is gonna take all day. But that army of tiny painters, they all paint one scale at the exact same time, and boom, the image appears on your screen instantly. And honestly, here's the beautiful accident of tech history. It turns out this giant chaotic team of tiny painter chips is exactly what you need to process massive amounts of data at once. They accidentally became the perfect engine for AI. They're the literal brains teaching robots how to see, powering self-driving cars, and running those chatbots you and I are using every single day. Section 2. The Babylon Chip Merchant, the epic legend of Yanzu. All right, picture this. Right in the middle of the merchant quarter of Old Babylon, a young metalworker named Jensu started a forge with his friends, naming it Nvidia after the goddess of envy. They started with just 40 pieces of silver and 20 gold pieces. And let me tell you, their journey was absolute chaos. Fast forward from their 1999 IPO at just 12 pieces of silver, straight into 2006, where Jensu makes an absolutely insane wager. He dumped 100 gold talents over 6 years into this software platform called CUDA that had zero market demand at the time. Zero. The elders completely mocked him as reckless, and the guild's value actually plummeted from 8 billion down to 1.5 billion. Yikes, right? But by 2023, that wild, crazy wager propelled the guild to a $1 trillion market cap, well on its way to becoming the richest trading house in the world. Which brings us to Section 3, 5 timeless money lessons, fast and furious finances from Babylon. Lesson 1, guard thy treasure. See, early on, Jensu built this strange four-cornered tablet plate that totally ignored industry standards. Literally, nobody wanted it. The trading houses sent it back by the cartload. Nvidia almost went totally bankrupt, and Jensu had to fire 60 of his 100 workers, famously declaring they were just 30 days from ruin. So the lesson here? Definitely confirm the market demand before you bet the entire forge on a radical idea. Okay, lesson 2 is all about maintaining a reserve of gold, basically having a little sprinting piggy bank ready to save the day. After that massive failure, Jensu flew to a trading house called Sega, honestly admitted his product was a total dud, but his integrity impressed them so much, they gave him 5 gold pieces anyway. And you know what? That tiny reserve bought him 6 months of runway. It essentially bought him the right to try again, which directly led to the smash hit triangular cut Riva 128 chip that literally saved the company. Lesson 3, make thy gold work while you sleep. This is the whole story of that massive 2006 CUDA wager. Nvidia poured millions into this software platform with zero return for 6 straight years. But they had real conviction that the future of computing would eventually need it. They just let that capital wait patiently, like gold coins snoring in a hammock, until the AI revolution finally woke it up. Lesson 4, increase thy ability to earn. Imagine a muscular computer chip just pumping iron, because every single time Nvidia was rescued from the brink of ruin, it wasn't because of some slick new marketing campaign. Nope, it was because they engineered a demonstrably better, leaner, faster product. Pure skill and craftsmanship compound way faster than a good sales pitch ever will. And lesson 5, fortune favors those already prepared when opportunity arrives. Listen, AI did not invent CUDA. AI arrived, looked around, and found CUDA already battle-tested and funded by a whole decade of video game revenue. Luck isn't just random, guys. It's a lightning bolt that finds the people who build a perfectly polished lightning rod and just stay in the game long enough to get struck by it. Section 4. The AI Golden Age. Hugging Face, hyperscalers, and beyond. So CEO Jensen Huang recently declared that AI has reached its inflection point, and honestly, you can see it in their revenue split. It's almost comical. Think of it like a completely lopsided donut. One massive slice is data center revenue, coming in at a staggering $89 billion. It absolutely dwarfs edge computing, which is just sitting there at a highly respectable but comparatively tiny $7.2 billion. And what's super crazy? That data center number is actually constrained. TSMC and memory chip suppliers can barely make the components fast enough to satisfy the hunger of these massive tech giants. And Nvidia isn't just resting on their hardware laurels either. At $12.9 billion, their acquisition of the open-source platform Hugging Face proves they're playing a much, much bigger game. They aren't just selling the tiny Painter chips anymore. They're literally buying up the entire software and model ecosystem to ensure absolute dominance. It's the whole shebang. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question inspired by Jinsu the chip merchant. Look at your own forge, your own skills, and your own reserve of gold. When your industry's inflection point arrives, will it find you perfectly prepared to catch the lightning? Think about it. Stay curious, keep building, and we'll see you next time.